Hi. Welcome to Doing Divorce Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and I'm your host all the time. And this is my second time being on camera. Usually I'm just, hi Morgana. Usually I'm just on your, YouTube video. No, usually I'm just on your audio, and now I'm on your video, and I'm all over the place. So I have an amazing guest today, and I'm so happy to have her. Say hi, Morgana. This is Morgana Rae. And we're just all like pretty, and we did our makeup and our hair because I made her do this, because usually we're just on the podcast. And usually I'm just doing, your audio, but now I'm on video too, and it's very strange for me. But Morgana Rae is here with us this afternoon, and I'm just so thrilled to have her. Morgana, can I read your bio?
Go ahead.
I'm read your bio because I'm going to tell everyone what you are. First of all, I've been posting about you all day on Facebook already, saying
Thank you.
that you're the money magnet goddess queen, which I love. I love that. I just think it's awesome. So because I have a poor relationship with money. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about money. And I've been all over your website, and I'm doing some major research, and I think that you're amazing. And so I'm going to read about you. Okay, Miss Morgana. Okay, Morgana Rae is a sought after teacher, speaker, and pioneer in personal development. She is a widely regarded to be the world's leading relationship with money coach. Morgana's groundbreaking program for creating wealth has featured her on, ready for this, ABC, NBC, Fox, PBS, NPR, CNN, United Press International, Yahoo Finance, and the Wall Street Journal Online. I mean, you're like a rock star. I can't even take this. She wrote the Life Magic column for National Women's Magazine and was named a top woman in e-commerce by We Magazine. Morgana's books, recordings, magazine articles, and classes have impacted the lives of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. Morgana writes, speaks, and coaches from a desire to empower idealistic entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, and artists to have a big impact in the world and to heal the rift between heart, spirit, and money. Thank you, Morgana, for being here.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. You have no idea. So tell me, first of all, where do we start? I'm doing divorce right. Obviously, my podcast is that, but it's so much more than just divorce. I tell people I'm the divorce podcast that's so much more than divorce. So,
and since I haven't been divorced, we're going to have to talk about something else.
Yeah, let's because actually I love you. We can say this too. I love your husband, who was actually one of my first guests ever on my podcast. And you guys have a little something that I love, which we can tell the story again, and we'll get a short version of it. But you guys are like my fairy tale story of why divorce. Even if you get divorced, you can have love again. You've been married how many times? You've gotten married
20 times in 15 countries in 4 years. This is like my 20th wedding, but my first marriage.
I love it.
And I would have settled for so much less. I tried to settle for so much less over and over again. I was a 45-year-old spinster when we had our first date.
Okay.
So,
but she found a romantic. She's a romantic. You did. And so you get married all over the place.
I thought I would be too romantic and mushy and needy for anybody. I am pretty mushy and needy, and I found somebody who could handle that. And
I love it.
Actually out-romances me because I am so mushy and needy, and I need it.
But you guys are a perfect match.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes me very happy. There is hope in the world, right? We can do this.
I had given up. So it was the biggest pain of my life. I've been looking for my guy since I chased Brian Patterson under the piano on his 5th birthday, and he was the older man.
And you found
so
him.
I've been on a hunt.
Okay.
Well, and I had a 100% success rate of romantic failure.
Okay. Well,
by the time I met Devin, and I just got a lot better at not lying to myself.
I love that. That's what I tell my clients. Being honest first, like knowing what you want, knowing that what's right, no rose-colored glasses. So I've actually told your story to a couple of my clients. I've told the Devin Morgana story. I love it. That's great.
Well, I used to, when I was lucky and had any kind of relationship at all, it would go on for 2 years, and we would break up for exactly what I knew on the first date.
Which was? What do you think?
Well, the great thing about guys, and this is the greatest convenience of being heterosexual, is that guys are just so much easier than we are.
I have to agree. I have to agree with you.
Zero like moral thing about heterosexuality versus homosexuality. That to me is that doesn't even, it's not a morality issue for me.
Yeah.
But I will say that guys are just less complicated. I think maybe they're a little less scared in the world.
Okay.
And so they just kind of let you know who you are, especially if, like, I've been a coach for years, so I got really good at asking nosy questions without apology.
Okay.
And I would ask, and guys will let you know who they are if you shut up and believe them.
Okay, that's great advice. Say that one more time.
And what's even better is guys aren't even subtle about it.
Right.
So the guy who is living with his mom, or the guy who's racist, or get this, the guy who told me his entire sexual history and described every crazy ex-girlfriend and named them. Terrifying. And I knew that I would be next if I dated, it was creepy.
If you stayed there. Right.
And then when I didn't date him again, he left me this horrible review on the dating site.
No, we didn't. Well, dating sites are scary. They scare the shit out of me.
But that's where I met my husband. Different dating site.
Well,
no, actually, I think it was the same dating site.
Oh, did you? You met Devin I met my boyfriend on a dating site on Match. Yeah, I did.
Mine was OkCupid.
I love that. That one, OkCupid, is a lot of information. You give a lot of information, which I like.
I love that. Well, and I would have there are certain questions that you have to get right for us to even is the earth bigger than the sun? If you can't get that one right, is it okay to hit a woman? If you don't, even if you believe it is, but you weren't smart enough to lie about it,
you're done. You don't match. You're like, you know what? Not today. Right?
Yeah. So
that's a good one. So do you think that your knowledge of dating early on and getting it right had to do with your connection with money and all that good stuff later?
Well, first of all, I was like one of the world's worst daters for most of my life.
Okay.
I had the serial monogamy thing down until my late 20s. And then I just sucked at dating. And it kind of started at the same time as the online dating. And I had this, I would be stood up on the first date. Like the guys would ask me out, and then I would get stood up 50% of the time.
Why? Why? I can't imagine that.
Well, I don't know why. Well, I think because they were asking a bunch of girls out and they just found a better offer.
They were juggling.
But when I started getting really honest with myself, first, I made a decision not to pretend not to know not to pretend for 2 years what I knew on the first date.
Okay.
And from that moment on, it was like I could see the expiration date above every guy's head, exactly why he wasn't right.
Okay. Which is good.
He might be fun to date for up to 3 months, but he would always disappear at 3 months at best.
Of course. Well, 90 days. I say the 90-day rule. I tell my clients.
Mostly I was a one-date wonder. And I got really, really good at that. And that's so unnatural for someone
who is.
I'm so desperate, No. For happily ever after. So, looking for the he has 2 eyes. I have 2 eyes.
I think a lot of people, but I think people all, I felt pressured, a lot of pressure when I met my husband. I was 28 and I felt pressure. I'm like, what the fuck? So girls that I'm working with now, they're like in their 30s and well, I have to get married. I have to, and they have 2 eyes. Let's do it. No. I'm like, whoa, slow down, So I get what you're saying.
Their fingers.
Yeah. Oh, look, they have 10 toes. Perfect. Let's do it. I'm like, girls, I get it. So go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
By the way, and I know this is probably going out to everybody, but oh my God, dating in your 40s is so much better. What you see is what you get. You've been on all the bad rides. You don't have to date the alcoholic anymore. You don't have to date the guy who doesn't have a job anymore. You did that. That's fun when you're in your 20s. Yeah. They're cooked. By the time you're in your 40s,
you know what you're getting.
How do they pay attention to their kids? How do they talk about their ex-wife and their mom? That, if they fail on any of those things,
kick them.
Walk away.
Don't you agree with that? But here's the thing, Morgana, a lot of women aren't. They're thinking they can change them.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't. You can't change them. They're 40 years old and they are what they are. And that's the end of it. But why? Why? It's crazy to me. I'm like.
Well, and wanting to change somebody is not love.
No, it's not.
Devin has qualities that made him the wrong person for his first wife.
Right. Sure.
And I'm cool with those qualities. And in fact, some of those things made him better for me. So there's really
Yes.
nothing about Devin that I couldn't live with for the rest of my life. And if you need to change something, like there are some things that I would like to improve, but if they don't,
You still love him.
I'm ridiculously happy.
Right. So it's all good. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
that's what love is.
I agree.
I don't
totally
even need to know what he thinks, but he's nice to me. So
Yeah, oh my God. You know what? You got a good one. You got a good one. Everyone should go back and watch Devin on because you guys are like,
yeah,
it's excellent. You guys are great.
All of the times that I literally wanted to die, I even started researching how to kill myself at the year that I met him. I was in such a dark place at the beginning of that year because it was the biggest pain in my life, just the loneliness. I was just built needing partnership, not to feel good about myself. I'm very confident, great business, happy life. But that thing was the thing that I'd always wanted. And he was worth the wait.
That's right. Oh,
he makes it all worth it.
And you have a lot in common. And you both are authors. That's nice. You both are writers.
I like writers. I like smart people. He makes me laugh.
I do too. I love it. So tell me about your book.
Oh, I couldn't imagine you without somebody who's smart.
Oh my God, no, I can't do. And you're like me. I feel like we have that connection where you are just, I cannot do dumb for 2 seconds. I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, I can't. If they have the banter, I have to be there, and it was quick and funny and smart, all that, I think it goes without saying.
Laughter is the fastest path to pussy.
Oh my God. I love that. Oh my God, Morgana. Can I use that?
Yeah.
I'm seriously writing that down. Laughter is the fastest path to, I'm not kidding. I'm making a quote and putting it on Instagram. Do you know how I make those quotes? Have you ever seen them? Laughter. And can I quote you?
Totally.
That's good. I'm telling you right now, my virtual assistant, she's dinging right now. When she sees this, that's going to be your quote. You know that, right? She makes quotes. Are you getting this, Nicole?
I'm so glad my dad has Alzheimer's and he'll never see that.
Oh, how's he doing? How's he doing? I know it's his birthday. Happy birthday to your dad.
He's happy. It's horrible for us.
It is horrible for you. It is, isn't it?
Was the smartest guy. He knew everything. My godlike dad is now like a small child in an old man's body, and it
chips away. Right.
It's both one of the most horrible experiences and one of the most beautiful experiences.
I love it
because his heart is just so there, and it's so easy to have just like a really deep, direct heart-to-heart experience without any defenses up in a way that I've never had before. So I would even call it a peak experience. It's like the torture that I treasure.
Oh, you're very smart.
It's really beautiful.
I think people make me cry. And it's like, you're just you're a good soul, my friend. You're a good soul. So I want to talk about you and what your fabulousness. And we're talking so much about other stuff. And I feel like it's your turn. Tell me. So your book, amazing. Bestseller. Yes. I mean,
I'm looking to see if there's one in the room.
I know. Can you show it? Because first of all,
I didn't even.
The Financial Alchemist, which is like kick ass and everything, right? Okay. So you're the money magnet.
Darn. I didn't bring it into the room with me.
Okay. Well, we'll put a picture of it. We'll find something when we post it up, and we'll do everything.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So
you can see my legs.
Yes, I know. The rose petals around you, and you're like gorgeousness. Okay, so so talk about it. What do you tell? Give me a couple tidbits that we need to know about.
Well, so I good girl perfectionist, got the grades I was supposed to get. I went to a college and did really well, and I bought all the lies that if you get good grades and you work hard and you do what you're supposed to do, you'll make money. Right. And that was always the thing that I failed at, by the way. And I inherited that from my dad. Yeah. He had clients who owed him millions of dollars, and he was too embarrassed to collect.
Oh, but do you think, this is just to ask you, I have a problem with asking people for money.
Yeah.
And I have a coach that I work with, and she's like, "What's your problem?" And I said, I don't know. I can't. Is that do you think, so I'm glad you said it was your dad too, because I feel like it's a female thing that we can't put a price on ourselves, or I don't feel like I'm
It's
worthy
more
enough.
common with
Okay.
women, but
Okay.
not obviously just women, because I
Right.
got that from my dad. Not
Okay,
my
good. I'm glad to hear that, but not glad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just,
Yeah, no,
okay.
I think it's a few things. I think unworthiness.
Right.
I think there's also a Jewish thing.
I think so too.
Hello,
That's what my
our
coach said.
family was killed. And
It is a Jewish thing. We're trying to hold on. I know. That's what she said too. I know.
yeah, we don't want to be money grubbing, up for extermination.
Right.
And so there's a lot of money is very, very dangerous.
I feel like I have a horrible relationship. I need to.
And by the way, Blacks have slavery. I mean, everybody has their thing. And the sooner it doesn't look like it's about money, the sooner we get to the root cause.
I need to reach out.
And at the deepest level, I think that, money, I mean, based on coaching thousands of people,
I mean, this is
make millions of dollars. I think that money represents the deepest issues of worth, love, and our very right to exist. So all of our issues around lovability, is the universe safe? What do I deserve? It's going to show up in a lot of areas, in our relationships, with our health, but in neon with money. And the thing with, women in divorce, because I've coached that a million times.
Yes.
When we want to get out of a relationship and we're just in so much pain, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the conflict. And then we take less just to get out of it. And very often women take the house, but now they've got liability without income. Is very, very common.
So many friends that are like, I just want to get out of it. Let them have. I'm like, girls.
Yeah. And by the way, there's actually a wisdom to that, because the system is very male. Guys may disagree, but I had a client who divorced her husband, and she was not raised for anything except to be a beautiful Southern bride. But when she found boy porn on her husband's computer, and they had a young son, she had to get out of there.
Yes, she did.
But he was an attorney who was friends with all the judges in town. And she got screwed. And I see that happen a lot. There's a lot of systemic sexism.
Yes,
men, by the way, men get wounded too. There are great men out there who get screwed. It's a painful area. And so I work with healing the wounds. I pretend, and I do address money wounds, because money impacts everything. I've been coaching since 1996, and money is the number one excuse any human being gives for what they can't do, have, or be.
Absolutely. 100%, right?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't have enough money. I can't go there. I don't have enough money. I can't buy that. Yeah.
And for women, it's a very socially acceptable excuse, because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I hate your product.
You're so right.
So I'm going to say that I can't afford it.
I do that all the time. I'm like, I really can't. I can't buy it, but I really hate it. I do.
Right. But so we make it the boogeyman, and we make it responsible for our choices, and we take away our own power and agency. We women, far more often than men.
Yes.
Men are funny. It's like women, it's like, oh, I love your blouse. Where did you get it? $5 at Target. Nice cufflinks. Where did you get them? $30,000 at Nordstrom.
Exactly. Why do we do that? I'm so proud when I get something on sale at Target, and then I return it. And I'm like, I returned it. I walked out of the store. I'm so proud of myself. Why do we do that?
Because a man's bank account is a substitute for his dick.
Right. It's his balls. He's like, his dick is bigger when he has more, right?
Yeah.
It's his ego. He's like, I've got, here's my Rolex and my balls, and they're my Maserati and his,
But by the same token, men who are having financial turnarounds and anxiety, it's supremely castrating for them. Like,
I know.
They don't even feel worthy of dating.
No.
If they aren't making money. And we validate that. Boy, we're like,
right.
Yeah. So, let's have some love and compassion for our men too.
Right. And I have people that have gone out with women, and they ask them 3 things on a date. What do you drive? Where do you live? What do you do? I'm like, girls, I mean, that is just,
And those are women who should stay single for a while.
I agree,
until
forever.
They grow up.
Yeah, until they grow up, or they're just, I'm like, you know what, shame on you women. And my guy friends are like, who wants to date when women are assholes?
Well, they need to choose better, because they also might be choosing, breast size and, and that's what you're going to get,
Oh, that's
when you
true.
make people objects
I never thought of that.
instead of people.
Yeah, maybe the guys are choosing girls who that's all they care about. And maybe the guys are sitting with a girl who, that's all she cares. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And by the way, there are a lot of relationships based on that. And if you go into it consciously, good luck being happy, but more power to you.
Yeah. Amen. I love it. Yeah.
Take them off the market.
Yeah. Yours, you can have her and you can have him. Bye-bye. Great. Yeah. That's less for me to worry about. I gotcha. Okay. So go ahead. So then you,
Okay. So hyperachiever, and I started coaching in 96 and instantly was getting great results. I was working with entertainment people and actors and writers with no credits were getting primetime series, and a first-time director was selling his film, and like magic. As long as I didn't charge. Like, the thing that was uncomfortable for me was charging, and I would get really weird thoughts like, well, Jesus wouldn't charge. Which, how do we know? Like, I'm Jewish, I wasn't there. Somebody was paying his way. What a weird thing to think. Like, you should only get paid for polluting and arms running, like good people shouldn't get paid really well for doing good. And so like, I had a lot of bullshit, and I kept good student. I kept taking classes on sales and marketing and getting A's.
Sounds like me.
Right. And it kind of, as my husband would say, the carts came off the wheel, or the wheel came off the cart.
Right.
Really bad at that shit.
Okay.
I had just taken a class on overcoming sales objections, which are these top secret backroom classes where they teach you what to say when somebody says, I can't afford it, or I don't have time, or whatever, right? And they give you these scripts, none of which I remember. But I was such a good girl.
Right.
And 7 times in a row, I would have those conversations. I would overcome their objections. They said they would hire me. Yay! And 0 showed up and 0 paid.
Oh my gosh.
And that's when I ran out of hope. I had the website. I had the business cards. I had great success stories. I was doing everything right. And I was living in LA making $100 a month.
Okay. So what was your turn? What was your...
Well, that was when I wanted to die.
Oh God.
So it was like, I gave up. I gave up hope. Yeah. I like dragged the curtains in my little tiny bedroom, blacked it out like a crypt, got on the bed and started screaming. Right. And I just felt so unloved and so unsafe. And I hated the universe, and the universe hated me back. And I cried myself out.
It's a horrible place to be. It's like,
it's a dangerous place to be. I think like every human being goes there at times, but it's a very dangerous place to be, very scary. And when I cried myself out, I had a couple of thoughts. One was that money needed to be my next area of spiritual growth. By the way, I'm not saying that needs to be your question. It's just that I'm from Los Angeles, so spirituality is like required. Right.
No, it's like that.
It's in the water. So it's like my way of going,
Pinkberry.
It'll be okay. If it's spiritual growth, then maybe I'll be allowed to like make some money, right? So that was my first cheat.
Right.
And the other one was I got curious about what the fuck is going on inside of me that can't be with money.
I feel like that. I need to read your book. Okay.
By the way, and that's a very good place to start. That pain is what made the transformation possible. Okay. Because soon after that, I had a conversation with my coach. Get this, I don't have money for rent, but I still make sure that I have a coach.
Because coaches need coaches.
Yeah, at times.
Right.
And he asked me a really weird question. He asked me 2 questions. First one was not a weird question. It was just like a good question. Morgana, what happened with you growing up with money? I was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? And then I thought, oh my God, my grandmother stole my inheritance that my great grandmother created for me, like huge. And then my stepfather stole my college trust fund. No wonder I have money issues. Weird.
Yes,
Like,
of course. Well, there you go. Light goes on.
two of the people in the world that I loved the most. I mean, I still love my grandmother. But it was like, well, that might have created some conflict because money got in the way of love, and I chose love. Right. And so that was a big aha. But it was the next question that really rocked my world, which was, if your money was a person, who would your money be? And whoa, like instantly in my mind's eye, I saw this big, scary, dirty, violent biker who terrified me. And I never knew that I had feelings like that about money.
Yeah.
Scary, dirty, violent, terrifying. You hear the contempt dripping from my voice and the fear. And there was this full body awareness. By the way, I think mindset is complete bullshit. Like if mindset worked, nobody in America would ever have to go on a diet again. This is a full body experience. And I could see myself at a live event with this guy and having my eye on him all the time to create maximum distance. And ding, 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 ding. Holy fuck, that's what I've been doing with money my whole life. And I didn't know it. And it was only when it became a person that my unconscious became conscious, that my real feelings and my real relationship became visible. And since then, this was like way back in 2003. Since then, like everybody and her dog is talking about relationship with money. And they talk, it's very hip now. It's, but you know, they talk about, oh, money is energy. It's a tool. It's a measurement of value. Deepak Chopra says it's a field of abundance, which is great. I don't know how to have a relationship with any of that.
I don't either.
Make it a guy. I know how to break up because I have a lot of years of experience.
You're so right. I'm going to make it. I mean, I get it now. I get it. Okay. Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to.
So use your superpowers of divorce and divorce this monster. And even better, extra points if you can kill him and leave no bloody bits, no traces to reconstitute into some money monster zombie. Right. And when it's gone, it feels like there's a dramatic emptiness. And it can feel scary to some people.
Well, yeah.
It can also feel light and spacious. I've heard it all. I've coached clients on the opposite side of the planet, and they say, well, the sun just came out. And it's like, yeah.
You're like, I'm that good. You're like, I'm going to the sun come up, bitches.
But what we have is we have a vacuum. So for me, my experience was, yay, oh, fuck. I'm so glad we get to say fuck here. I'm just going to say it like
you can say whatever you want here. This is a safe place.
Yeah. By the way, you know, my dad with Alzheimer's, those will be the two last words to go, fuck and shit. He just he's this, you know, educated, respectful attorney who's just like, runs in the family.
I love it. Great. Yeah, my family too. You should hear my kids upstairs playing Fortnite right now. I'm like, I hope this doesn't get on. Hope they're being really quiet. They have the door shut. And like,
I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, it's great.
R-rated. Okay. So, yay, I got rid of my money monster. Fuck, I live in LA. What am I going to do?
Everything's so expensive. What are you going to do?
Yeah, studio apartment is like $1,200.
Yeah, good luck with that. Right.
Yeah. So I thought, oh dear, I need to have a relationship with money. And that felt like the worst boyfriend breakup ever with somebody who hits you and abuses you and makes you feel like shit. And I'm supposed to like get back into a relationship like that? Are you kidding me?
Right.
And so I thought to myself, well, who could I want in my life so much that I'd be willing to have this person in my life, even though it's money, because money had been such a area of pain and shame and despair and frustration. So who could I want so much? Naturally, a tall, dark, handsome, lovely, romantic guy like pops into my head because that's how I'm wired. And in whatever gender floats your boat, it works, gay, lesbian, whatever you like. And he was safe, clean cut, romantic, dressed up in a tux, holding a bouquet of red flowers. Like, where the shit did that come from? That's why my book has like all the rose petals. Yes. And he loved me and wanted to woo me. which was really weird because I never thought that way before, but I felt it. And I also felt how much I had been hurting him all those years, that I'd been pushing him away like he was some dirty monster. So I asked him, what do you need from me to stay with me? By the way, I didn't ask him, what do you need from me to love me? Because he did. That, rule one of Money Honey is your money honey loves you and loves you more than anybody in the world. That's a done deal. There is like no negotiation there. But I have the body, so I have the power. By the way, that's very, very important. If you are looking for money, like your money fairy to save you or money to rescue you, that's a money monster dynamic that takes away your power. It makes you a victim faster than you can say Donald Trump. Right. We're not going to be political here.
But you can say fuck.
Yeah. So, okay. So I asked him what he needed, and it was so sweet. This was our first conversation. He said, I need you to love me, and I need you to stop treating me like a monster. Huh. So this is where I get on my soapbox about love of money not being the root of all evil. First of all, in ancient Aramaic, now I'm going to be like annoying brainy girl here because a friend of mine took a class in ancient Aramaic and tells me that the original statement was never the love of money is the root of all evil. It was the worship of money can cause you some problems. Oh. No shit.
Oh yeah, hello. Right.
Yeah, especially in the context, it was written saying like, feed your slaves. Better yet, don't have slaves.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay, so love. Love is not greed. Love is not avarice. Love is not cheating. Love is not exploitation. Love does not hurt people. Love is generous. Love is noble. Love is your best self. And unless that's the kind of love we're talking about, this kind of selfless, expansive, loved and be and love back, yep. That's not, anything else is not love. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. This is a person worthy of love, doesn't look, feel, or sound like cash. In fact, one of my clients started calling money cash to separate the two, the numbers, because as soon as you start worrying about numbers, we shrink, we get into scarcity.
Okay.
And ironically, the less it feels like your money honey is money, the more cash clients make. Huh. We're talking millions of dollars. So fun stuff. Another nice side effect is when people feel juicy and loved by their hot, sexy, romantic money honey, men say they stand taller. They feel it in their shoulders. They feel like men. They feel like they can be the man that can make a woman happy. They become better men. Women get soft. We feel safe in the world. Uh-huh. Our heavy armor comes down, and at the same time, we make better choices because we're not desperate, because we know we're loved, and we have a money honey who's like,
not right.
Yeah, move on.
Gotcha.
And then you have like a partner for life. So step number 5, and I'll go through the steps, is having that conversation. Step number 6 is take action, because when you want physical, real world results, taking some kind of physical action is like, it makes it real.
Yeah, I need that.
And there's an embodiment to it. It's kind of like sympathetic magic. And it doesn't have to be on the nose. In fact, I love the stuff that doesn't seem to make sense. Like the woman whose money honey tells her to go get a pedicure, and then she comes home and gets a $5,000 client.
How does that happen? Oh, because she met him during the pedicure, because she was there sitting next to her during the pedicure, or something like that.
Well, that has happened. That Janet Breitmeyer, her money honey kept telling her to take a walk for 2 weeks, but she was too worried about money to do it.
Yes.
And then she went out and picked up 2 clients at more than she'd ever charged before.
Oh, why does it not happen to me? Because I'm scared. I don't have my money honey yet.
Because the bed is not big enough for the 3 of you. The money monster will cock block your money honey every time.
Yes, I have to get rid of the money monster.
You have to get rid of the money monster first.
Okay, this is all in your book.
It's all in my book. And also, if you go to my website at morganarae.com.
Okay, say that again. morganarae.com.
morganarae.com.
I've been there all day, Morgana. I've been there all week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got
It's
my
on
video
Amazon.
series to start you on the process. I have, tons of articles and videos.
Yes.
So if you're gonna, what I love about the workbook, honestly, I created it for myself.
Okay. You can get that there too. You can get that on your website, the workbook.
Yeah. You can buy it on Amazon, but if you go through my website and then come back and enter your name, email, and receipt number, you will get a bonus 2-hour Q&A call that goes really deep and dirty into, lots of things that you don't know yet.
Okay, so to say that again, so if you, it's like
go to my website, morganarae.com.
Okay.
And if you click on the button on my menu bar that says the book,
I know exactly where it is. I know exactly where it is. I saw it.
It's on the homepage now. It only took me a bunch of years to figure out. It's like on the front page, in your face. But if you get the book and then come back to the book page and enter your name and email address and receipt, you'll get a bonus recording of a 2-hour Q&A call I did when I did my book launch. Because when you do the process, questions come up. And this is what is so fun about being a coach. And I've been a coach now for over 23 years, is human beings are endlessly creative and resourceful at coming up with new problems. It was like,
I'm pointing to myself, listeners. I'm pointing to
but it's
victim. We play the
fascinating.
victim.
What if my money monster, what if my money honey is a werewolf? And I'm like, well, is he a sexy werewolf?
Is he wearing,
Is he nice to you? Like, okay, give it a try.
Right, yeah.
Vampires, not so much.
No, I don't want my money hand to be that. I want him to be, sexy, George Clooney-ish.
George Clooney has come up. And he turned into a good husband, which makes him even better. Johnny Depp was a very popular money honey for
Who?
Johnny Depp was like the most popular money honey. Yeah, it's not my place to second guess somebody else's money honey.
No, you can't do that. That was your
I'm just like, no.
You're like, who's your money honey? That can't be your money honey.
No, I don't do that. But what's really funny is like when it's somebody who's not their type, who they don't expect. The reason I love that, and I've changed my language over the years. Like if you hear something from me in maybe 2007, I might say, create your money honey.
Right, now?
And now I say meet.
Oh.
Because I don't want you like in your head controlling the process. Because that's where you got stuck. Is it Denzel Washington?
Could
or
it be this? Right.
Yeah.
You just want to meet. You just want to come to you. Just come.
Yeah. And what's really funny is when it's not what you expect. Like when a client says, well, he looks like Yanni, but he's a sexy Yanni. And one of my favorite stories is a client named Lynn. I have her story on my blog.
I read it.
Yeah, the blog post, John Travolta Loves You, where her money honey showed up in that white suit. And she's like, that's ridiculous. Change. And she kept trying to change, but he wanted to be in the white suit. And it's like, okay. And then he told her what he wanted her to do, which made no sense at all. She had all these debts, all these bills coming due. And he says, well, move money from that account to the other. Thanks.
That's what I do. No.
But she did it. She did it because he was really clear. And as soon as she transferred the money, she got in the car, turned on the car radio, and the Bee Gees were playing. And that was like a joke between her money honey and her. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, she's got it. Like, ooh, hairs on. Yeah. He has a sense of humor is a good sign. And then she goes to pick up coffee for the people in her office, and she's standing in line checking her email on her smartphone like all of us online addicts do today.
Yes, of course.
And she gets an email from a client that they had invoiced that day who had like at least another 60 days to pay. And he wrote back that he was wiring all the money that day. And it was a big 5-figure amount that was going to cover payroll and her bills and then some right then and there. And she took a look at the timestamp of her bank deposit and the timestamp of the email. And it was a difference of 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're thinking what took so long? We're still working on it.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. See, but this shit doesn't happen to me. I don't know what. So what do I have to do more?
Well, the first thing you can say is change your language to the shit didn't used to happen to you.
Okay.
Put in the past, because what I'm hearing is you've got an identity attachment to a certain amount of failure. Yeah. By the way, there is grief. There is death in giving up crappy stuff. Okay. even patterns that you don't want anymore. And the more sick of it you are, the better. But
Yeah, I'm
there
sick of it.
is a death. There's a payoff. You get to be the funny lady who says, "Oh, woe is me," and
Yes.
makes jokes and gets a lot of love for that. Gets it,
Playing the
uses it
victim.
for attention.
Playing the victim, sure.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah.
By the way,
Self-deprecation. It's, you
yeah,
know.
and I don't shame victimhood. In fact, the first part of the process is all about being a victim. Like, be the biggest victim you can, as if your life depended on it, because that reality is going on.
Right.
And your life depends on bringing it out in the open.
Sure.
So
But
bring
then-
out as much grief and pain as you can.
Sure.
Like a lawyer, build a case for life sucks, your life sucks, and it's all out for you. And then give it personhood outside yourself. It's not your parents, because we're not going to kill your parents. And it's not you, because we're not going to kill you. But what we are going to do, and by the way, the monster may say all the things that you hate about yourself, and you put all that stuff in the monster's mouth so you can destroy everything that doesn't belong in your life, including your desire to die. You get to put all of that in the monster and kill the monster, and you get to stay. And
Awesome.
It is a life or death decision, because only one of you gets to survive.
Got it. Are you listening, everybody? This is awesome. And then we come to, I mean, this is just, I love it.
We could talk forever.
I
We didn't
love
even
it.
talk
But
about
I
my
have to
husband.
go. I know. I have to go. I'm usually only half an hour, and I'm at 9 minutes, and I'm like, damn it, but it was so good.
So you get two Jews, you know? What are you going to do?
Two Jewish girls walked into a bar, into a podcast room. Yeah, you're awesome. You're awesome, Morgana. I'm going to get on your, I'm going to do your whole thing. I'm going to get on there and do the.
Come with me to Bali.
We're going to make sure.
We'll talk about that later.
Bali, can you come back on? We'll
Sure.
talk more. Oh my God,
Okay.
Morgana, you're awesome. Okay, wait, before you go, because we're going to put everything on the show notes, and we're going to put everything on my website and the whole thing, but I want to make sure everybody knows. MorganaRae.com is going to get us to everything, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything special?
If you buy only one thing, buy the book. It is a 1-year self-coaching system. And if you need instant gratification because you're human,
I do.
click on, at the top of the website, the 4-part Money Magnetic video series.
Okay.
You will get 1 video a day. So please don't go screaming at me when you don't get number 2 the same day.
You're like,
I
I'm
like
done with number one.
I like to do bite sizes, work on this and then work on the next one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hi, Morgana, you're awesome. And tell your awesome hubby I say hi. And
Okay.
then maybe we can have both of you back and we can talk about more stuff. This is amazing. I love it.
Okay, that would be fun.
Morgana. Am I going to see you in Austin? Are you going to Austin or no?
No, I'm going to Mexico with my husband. Yeah. Pour us.
And pour you. Enjoy yourselves. I love you guys. Thank you, Morgana, for everything. Thank you. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and this is Doing Divorce Right every Tuesday here. Oh, this is so much fun. I'm like just overwhelmed. I loved it. It was awesome. Thank you. You can find me at www.jenniferhurwitz.com. Peace, love, and truth. Bye, guys. Have a good day.